So I got a quick tip today. This one is for the guitar players. If you're looking for a way to tune your guitar, you're finding the tuner built into Logic to be a little, well, let's just say not the most accessible, and you don't want to pay for a tuner and you find Talking Tuner to be not the most accurate, then I got a free tip for you how you can use a soft synth in Logic to help you tune your guitar. So what I have set up here is a track with
Track 1 Steinway Grand Piano, Groove.
Steinway Grand Piano.
Track 2 Audio 1, Input Monitoring, Groove.
And an audio track with input monitoring turned on. And that's the audio track that is set to the input that my guitar is plugged into on my audio interface. So let's go back to Steinway Grand Piano track.
Track 1 Steinway Grand Piano, Groove.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play an E on my keyboard. And if you don't have a MIDI keyboard hooked up to your computer, you can actually use musical typing to do this. So you can bring that up with Command K, but if you have a MIDI keyboard, you can skip this step and just play the note. All right, so I'm going to bring up the musical typing keyboard with Command K.
Musical typing. Stop.
And all right, so we're going to play an E note because we probably want to tune the low E on our guitar first. So I'm going to just hit record. It's going to count me in for a measure, and then I'll play this E note.
One bar, one beat, one division, one tick.
So I just stopped that recording, and I'm going to close musical typing keyboard with Command K. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open the event list and adjust this note. So Command 7 to open the event list.
Now in, on type.
And I can jump in here with VOJ.
In table,
I'm going to use VO right arrow to
note
navigate
cell. One slider.
over to the position column.
M. Position 044219 scrubber groove. Column 3, row 1.
And I came in a little early here, as you can see. So I'm just going to double click on that and type in 1.
044219 scrubber groove. 8 items.
And if you came in a little late, I'd suggest setting this to 1. So if you just double click on this with VO shift space twice quickly and then type in the number 1, you will then just set this to start at bar 1 beat 1. And this is the position column in the event list. I got another tutorial that goes in depth on the event list, a link in the description below. Check that out if you want to see more about how to use the event list. So we set the position of the note to start at bar 1 beat 1.
1 bar 1.
And I'm going to go over and adjust the velocity and the length.
Status. Note CH. 1 num. E2 slider. Column 6. Val. 98 slider. Column 7.
So I'm going to crank this velocity all the way up to 127.
In slider. 100. Out of slider. Num. E2 slider. Column 6. Row 1.
I just VO left back to the nom column. You see that this note's already in E2, so we're good there.
Val. 127. Length info. 03343 scrubber groove. Column 8. Row 1.
And I'm going to set this to be exactly 1 bar long. So I'm just going to double click on this again and type in 1 and hit return. So VO shift space twice quickly.
03343 scrubber groove.
Return.
1 bar 1 beat 1 division 1 tick.
And now if I play this,
1 bar 1 beat 1
turn the
division.
metronome on for a second.
Metronome on. 1 bar.
You see that note is exactly 1 bar long now, which is exactly what I want. I set it to be 127 velocity, so it's the loudest, and we set the note to be exactly 1 bar long. So I'm going to close the event list. By the way, if you use alternate tunings like me, you can use, I'm going to go back over to the note.
Val. Num. E2 slider. Column.
If you use alternate tunings like me, you can use option up and down arrow to set this to a different note value. So like case in point, if you tune down a drop C like I do, you can always just option down arrow and set that to C. And if I move off of this and back on,
CH num. C2 slider. Column 6.
you see
row 1.
that I have that set to C. So I did option down arrow to take it down a semitone until I got down to C. You can always tune this back up with
CH num. E2 slider.
So you can use option up and down arrow to transpose this note to be whatever note you might want to tune to. And you can do this from the track headers as well, so you don't have to do this in the event list. Generally speaking though, I will normally just tune the low E string on the guitar and then tune the rest of the guitar to the low E string. I find it's a little bit better that way when it's in tune to itself, as opposed to transposing this note up to A and then D and then G and then etc., and tuning each string to the piano. I find it's best to get one string in tune and then tune the rest of the guitar to itself. So that's generally what I do in these instances. All right, so in my case, I'm going to set this back to C because I'm tuning the guitar that's in drop C, but you can leave this on E if your guitar is in standard tuning, or if you're going to drop D, you can set this to D, for example.
CH, nom, C2 slider.
There we go. So that's on C. So I'm going to close this window now.
Library, browser. Search sounds, search library, browse, tools, pop-up button.
And let's get out of the library.
Out of tracks, group.
Go back to tracks.
In track, tracks, in tracks header, in track 1 Steinway Grand P.
There we go, tracks header. So now the next step is I'm going to set locators around this note.
1 bar 1.
Oops, let's turn the metronome off. We don't need that anymore. So I'm going to set, my left locator is already at bar 1, and you can see where your left and right locators are by using Command Option Home and End. So if I do Command Option Home.
1 bar 1 beat 1 division 1 tick.
And Command Option End.
5 bars 1 beat 1 division 1 tick.
And you see my right locator is at bar 5. By the way, if you're on a laptop, Command Option Home is going to be Command Option FN left arrow, and Command Option End is going to be Command Option FN right arrow. So we're at bar 1, beat 1. I'm going to move the playhead to bar 2.
2 bars 1 beat 1 division 1 tick.
So I'm going to do Command Option right bracket to set the right locator to where the playhead is. So now the left locator is at bar 1.
1 bar 1 beat 1 division 1
and
tick.
The right locator is at bar 2.
2 bars 1 beat 1 division 1 tick.
Perfect. So now that I have the left and right locator set, if I press the letter C,
cycle mode on.
Turn cycle mode on, and it's just going to keep cycling this section of the project.
1 bar 1 beat 1 division 1 tick. 1 bar
Where
1
that
beat 1
comes in handy is I can now tune hands free. So let me go back to
track 2 audio 1.
Let me grab my guitar. So now if I hit space, it will play the project on cycle, and I can just freely tune my guitar.
1 bar 1 beat 1 division 1 tick.
Kind of get the idea from
tick.
there. And then, like I said, I can now go ahead and tune the rest of this guitar to itself. So if I wanted to, and continue to tune the guitar that way. So that's one way you can tune the guitar using Soft Synths and Logic as a pitch reference when you're tuning. If you need to, you can transpose the note up and down. As I said, I'm going to go back to
track 1 Steinway Grand Piano.
Grand Piano track. And if I do Option up arrow, that's C sharp, D, D sharp, and back on E. And now if I play this, so, you know, if you're in drop D, just Option down arrow twice, take that down, and there you have it. So you don't have to be in the event list to transpose the note. You can transpose it from the track headers as well. All right, if you have any other tips as a guitarist for tuning your guitar or any other guitar related stuff, leave those in the comments below. As another guitar player, I'd love to check them out, and I'm sure there are other blind guitar players out there watching this channel that would love to see what you guys do as well. That's it for this tutorial. Thank you so much for checking this out. Hope you found that useful and helpful. Please feel free to like and subscribe and share this with someone you know who's new to Logic and VoiceOver. If you'd like to support the channel, you can do so by making a donation at paypal.me/logic.band, link in the description below. You can also get some one-on-one training if you want to dive deep in any of these topics surrounding Logic, or if you're new to Mac and want to get up to speed with VoiceOver. You can visit logic.band/training for some one-on-one tutoring, and once again, there is a link to that in the description below. Also, don't forget to check the description below for a link to relevant tutorials here on YouTube and or to the blog on logic.band that has some supplemental information for this tutorial. As always, everyone, until next time, happy recording.